This has also infiltrated its way into Islamic belief, where they said, for example, if I start getting houses and money and a good job and good business and so forth, that means I'm blessed. That means God likes me, God loves me. And so we start to see, well, we're the best nation in the world. God has favored me individually by giving me a house, by giving me a car, by giving me so forth and so forth. Now, all of this is true to some extent, right? It just depends on how we're looking at it. Because we understand fundamentally and we believe that rizq is from Allah, right? And so Allah yarzuq man yasha wa yudha'ifu liman yasha. Allah will provide sustenance to whomever He wills, and He will multiply that sustenance however much He wills. But it doesn't necessarily mean that just because Allah gave you, that He has favored you. Because everything is a test, and Allah will take away certain risks from us to see that if we are patient and that we will be thankful for the problems and the difficulties that we are going through and stand strong onto our deen. This is the reality of the world that we live in from an Islamic context. So from that Protestant movement, we start to see, well, if God has given you all these blessings in this world, this physical manifestation of good things, then you are blessed and you are favored by God. And so that ideology is even infiltrated into the Islamic society, whereby, for example, somebody could take a purely 100% riba-based mortgage, right? Riba is 100% haram. We know that for a fact. And we even know that riba in the Quran is the only sin that says if you take it, then you are waging a war. Allah is going to wage a war against you. But what do? You'll see a lot of Muslims who will take those riba-based mortgages, 100% riba-based, right? But they adjust it because, well, I mean, we need to move ahead in life, and everybody else is doing it, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I understand riba, but this is a different type of riba, and we need to get a house, and we need to get shelter. Again, we're looking at life from one perspective, from one eye, the eye of physical reality, and not the eye of spiritual understanding, right? And so what's the first thing usually people do when they will get this brand new house on a riba-based loan? They'll have, let's do a Quran reading, let's have people come over to give us blessings. We'll pray Surah Al-Baqarah and so forth. So it's like you're bringing in the religion when you want it. You're taking a riba-based loan, but you are saying that Allah has favored me, Allah has blessed me with this beautiful house, and so let's say thank you Allah for waging a war against me. Subhanallah. We start to think that because we have been blessed with A, B, C, and D, that Allah has favored us, even though those blessings have been attained through haram ways. We just ignore the haram side. We say, well, Allah's given it to us, So then we will argue, well, if Allah didn't want me to have it, why did He give it to me? Again, this is heavily focused on the ideology of materialism. And that's, again, one of the main isms that came out of all this movement. We replaced the creator, or focus on the creator, with the focus on the creation, because we can see and feel and touch and smell and hear the physical world. But the creator, I mean, if you really want to believe in an Allah or a God or whatever you want to call him, that's fine, but we can't really do much with that. And the more we study it, I mean, it hasn't really gotten us anywhere except for conflict over the last several hundred years. Everybody keeps fighting about whose God is the real God. But if we focus on this world, we've started to see so much improvement, so many benefits. And by default, as human beings, if we start to put in an effort and we see a result, that encourages us and it gives us the boost, the motivation to keep going. And so it makes sense to focus even more so on the physical realm. And then we say, for example, you want to believe in this idea of ruh, the spirit. That's fine. We can't see, touch, smell, or hear it. But for improving everything from, physiology to biology to medical sciences, although a lot of them have been, shrouded under the gown of manipulation and corruption for money and power, but nevertheless, breakthroughs have happened and improvements in health overall have happened and the ways of life have happened, subhanAllah. So this is a reality. But we've gotten too involved and too indulged into that reality by itself. And remember that the Dajjal only sees with one eye. From a metaphorical sense, you would say that he's only looking at things from the physical realm and ignoring and dismissing the spiritual side of it. Starting to understand how Surah Al-Kahf is tying into the Dajjalic system and the Dajjal himself as to how the main ism here that we're trying to fight is materialism and how it's governed our world. So much so that, for example, somebody wouldn't wake up for Fajr, but we put 100 alarms to make sure that we get up and run to our job. Why? Because we need to make the money. And so, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ. Have you not seen he who takes his desire as God? And what is your desire here? Whatever it is you want to buy, and how do you buy it? By money. So we need the money to fulfill our desires. And so we're doing whatever is necessary. We're sacrificing our time, our effort, and our energy in pursuit of this desire. So we are figuratively worshipping this money, this idea, to satisfy our desire for what? For the materialistic life.